Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by Pody McCrory on weigh-in day. Pody, we're just before the ceremonial weigh-in, but just first of all, made weight okay and seen Edgar Berlanga this morning. How are you feeling?
Yeah, made it feel good. Now I'm weighed in, I'm starting to refuel. Energy levels are really, really good and are much better than expected. I haven't travelled much to fight and I didn't really know what to expect, but it's honestly the best that I've made weight.
I want your opinion on Frankfurt compared to this. Have you got the same level of confidence coming into this fight that you did when you went away to Frankfurt and beat Leon Boone?
Yeah, so we spoke as a team and I think we've all said that we're getting like the Frankfurt vibes. In fairness, in terms of that, it doesn't feel any different. Like I don't let the occasion faze me, so I'm ready for. I'm in the same position as I was in Frankfurt. Like as I am here, I'm the B side. Maybe not, now there's not as much expected of me, but I expect loads.
Talk to me a little bit about what this means for you and your family, Pody. You've got your young kids at home who unfortunately won't be here to watch you, but roaring on daddy, obviously, to do this. Does that add extra pressure onto you because this is for your kids and your wife and your family, and this can really change Pody McCrory's life forever?
I think if you look into what's the potential of being next, potentially, yeah, but I've always took a fight at a time, and that's my main focus. A lot of people will say that it's a free shot for me because no one expects me to win, but I've made it this far that I can't let this opportunity slip. So knowing that my kids are at home and what I can do for them, and if I win this fight, it makes it a wee bit more important.
There was a few interviews yesterday with Berlanga and with Eddie Hearn, not just from myself but other outlets, and the consensus online is that possibly there's already a deal in place for Canelo to fight Berlanga on May the 4th. It would be a quick turnaround, which would suggest that they think that Berlanga is going to come through you quite easily. To flip that, if you believe so well that you're going to beat Edgar Berlanga and you came through him quickly, would you be raring to go on May the 4th against Canelo?
Who does not want to fight Canelo Alvarez? It's Red Ponty night. He is the money man. Of course. I get that feeling as well. Like Mexico, Puerto Rico, I think they might have something sort of semi-done. But listen, it adds pressure to him. If they have that done, he is under pressure to win. It's life-changing for him then, isn't it? So, it's exciting times.
What did you see when you looked into Edgar Berlanga's eyes? A very different Edgar Berlanga to what we're used to seeing when he's trying to get under people's skins. I know he did sing the "Oh Edgar Berlanga" chant at the crowd yesterday. He done it to himself as well when he came off stage. But do you read into the fact that Edgar's a little bit more quieter, calm, collected this week?
No. I expected more from him. Probably a bit at the weigh-in because there'd be more crowds there and a bit of fanfare. But as I say, I expected more. I'm not reading into it. I don't know what his approach has been, but I'll not change for any man. It's what I do. I'll offer him a handshake. I always will. At the end of the day, all we are is two competitors looking to better ourselves, looking to get the win. So, in terms of his approach, I expected more, but I'm not reading much into it.
I want to ask you something on a personal level, Pody. You're someone who is obviously the Cinderella man, you're labelled. A lot of people have said you've came from nothing, you've got your way to this, you're almost on world stage. Eddie spoke about it yesterday, the way I've told him you're going to become a world champion. But you also have battled this speech impediment that you have. I don't want to call it a stutter or a stammer. You can clarify what it is. But how have you counteracted that? I know previously, whenever we spoke, and you won't mind me saying, it was very noticeable at the start. I'm sure 99% of the listeners or people watching this will never have realised that you have a speech impediment. How has it been for you growing up with that, and in terms of getting that media coverage that you're getting now and dealing with that?
Yeah, so back when I first signed pro, one of my biggest fears was if I ever make it to that level, and you're doing press conferences and there's a mic in your face and you're getting asked questions, I feared that more than I feared a fight, and I still get that sort of anxious feeling. Even yesterday, in the stage, I'm looking back and my wife texts me saying I dealt with it really well, because it wasn't it's 7 years ago. like this was really scary for me. And then you texted me today, and I was just like, yeah, let's get it done. I think it's my personality more than anything, because as I say, I don't let it get to me. I work with a guy called Michael Jared, and we spoke about this, and we spoke about the potential of the press conferences hinder my career because I didn't want to take that opportunity, like a risk because of that. It's tougher than you expect, because online and social media can be a dark place, and people will like have their opinions on it. And I've had this leggings through my childhood, and I've watched like some of my really early interviews back, and I get embarrassed watching them. I literally switch them off when I start like stuttering. Like now, it's I don't know what like triggers it. I don't know what brings it on. I've had it all my life. I can't change it. It's part of me. It's part of my personality. It's part of my life, and like all I can do is try and deal with it, adapt with it, and if people don't accept it and can't accept it, then I think it's a bigger reflection on them.
It's so mind-blowing for me to hear that from you, because whenever we speak now, it's as if you don't have that speech impediment. And I know in your head you probably think it's still there at points, and it really isn't. So I just want to say, from a media standpoint, that anyone who's ever interviewed you will know how far you've came to this point. And it's a reflection of your character and how you've dealt with this, because this is all new to you. Like you said yesterday, this is like you've swam the channel, and you know Eddie spoke about that before. You're here now and you're doing these things. But do you believe that just shows the mentality that you have, Pody, and that fighter within you?
I think the improvements in my speech and the way I deal like with media is also a reflection of how I've dealt with my career, and the improvements as a man, as a person, as a fighter. I think they're all working like hand in hand. But listen, I struggle every day with it. People think like it's nothing, but knowing that you struggle to speak sometimes, it's sometimes like difficult. I remember just yesterday there was 3 different, like part 1, part 2, and part 3, and as you went through the parts, I was getting more like sweaty palms and nervous. And Eddie Hearn, I grew up watching boxing and watching him put on the biggest shows, and he's a character and he's funny. And part of boxing is like selling yourself. Like a big part of that is chatting shit, and it's not me. But even if I wanted to, I would probably like hold back, because I'd be afraid of stuttering, and people might like take it as a weakness, like, oh, he's nervous because he's stuttering, but I'm not. It's me. And for me to be able to be even sitting here or sitting like on the stage yesterday, that's a massive win for me. Like that's nearly like winning the fight. Because I know even in school, in education, I always like sat at the back, never asked questions, never put my hand up, reading books. I struggle with that, and to see where I am now, and even getting texts like from my wife yesterday just to say that you spoke really well. It's a big win for me.
Well, Pody, you're an inspiration to many people. I'm sure a lot of people will take a lot from what you've said there. But just a final one from you, just a message for the people that are arriving. They're arriving in their droves today to this hotel, to this area. Just a message to them ahead of tomorrow. One final message.
Yes, I spoke to Puerto Ricans, I spoke to Irish, I spoke to Mexican, and they're all brilliant people. They're all boxing fans. They're obviously rooting for their guy, but without fans and friends and family coming to support you, like there's no boxing. And I appreciate it, and I love my friends and family that are here, and there's more coming. So it's just great to see.
Pody McCrory, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.